Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
It's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney. And I'm gonna have to ask Geeky to kind of lead this video because apparently there are lawsuits.
Yeah, remember we told you before about the one in Disneyland that the person that had an annual pass was suing because the park pass reservation system doesn't allow you the access that you were promised when you bought the annual pass. Well, it's happening again, but this time at Walt Disney World.
Uh-oh.
So there's two pass holders who are suing Disney over the fact they paid for passes and they, with whatever blackout dates options they had, but they can't use them what they paid to use because of the park pass reservation and how it seems to skew that annual pass holders don't have as many slots available as other people that pay more.
Yeah, well, that does seem to be the case. So we're gonna take a look at that. We're also gonna talk about this other lawsuit that Disney lost a legal battle in New York.
Over royalties they claimed on their taxes.
Yeah, everything's coming up, Mickey. Anyway, before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 277,000 subs.
Woo!
Thank you for the support. Go out to piratesandprincesses.net for more objective Disney and theme park news. And we've been annual pass holders in the past, and I don't think that the APs really have the value that they used to have.
No. And this story came from the Florida Politics site. And what happened is there are two people, EK from Palm Beach, they're just going by initials, who paid the monthly installment of $68. If you're a Florida resident or if you have a DVC, you can pay it by monthly payments. And then we have MP from Orange County who paid $633 per pass for her and her family. So each person in her family, they're paying that much of the pass.
Right.
Now, keep in mind, you cannot buy annual passes right now. At both, I think Disneyland, they don't have them available, and I know Walt Disney World does not have them available. You can renew, but you can't buy them. If you're an out-of-state person or you buy the top tier one, they are very expensive. You pay like how much? What, like $1,200 or something like that?
Yeah, they're expensive.
And then it's supposed to be, that's all without blackout dates. There's different levels and some of them have different blackout dates. The top tiered one was supposed to have, limited or no blackout dates. And what's happening is that with the park pass reservation that was supposed to be brought in for COVID to keep the numbers down, for that, they're keeping it. And they're keeping it because they allot so many tickets to different groups. So like, for example, let's say we had 100 tickets. Of this 100 tickets, a certain percentage goes to annual passes, a certain percentage will go to daily ticket holders, and a certain percentage will go to resort hotel guests with tickets. Okay. So there's three different things they divide it up by. And it does seem like the annual pass holders are the smallest amount allotted. I mean, it's possible there's just a lot of them.
I think it's because they are unfavorable.
Right.
They're unfavorable.
Because they get a shit ton more money if they bring in people that pay for tickets, daily tickets, or they're the resort guests with like the multi-day tickets.
Right.
They get way more money. So if they have 100 spots available, they sure as heck would rather have like 90% be made up people paying, $100 and some a day than the annual pass holders who paid one price and go off and Bob Chapek made some comments that are kind of shitty against annual pass holders.
Yeah, so I am actually surprised it's just a couple of people suing them. I could totally see a class action lawsuit because he made the comments that it's
I have it in here.
Unfavorable mix and unfavorable.
Well, not just that. I have another comment he had made. So here's what the statement was that was from the lawsuit. Disney's conduct is a predatory business practice aimed at exploiting the customers who support it the most, its annual pass holders. Disney abused the global pandemic to take advantage of its own low customers and increase its revenue. Because it used to be before they had park passes, you could go in whenever. If you had an annual pass, you could park hop. A lot of people are getting mad about that because you still can pay for park hopping, but you can't park hop till after 2 p.m. and there's no reason for it. And that impacts annual pass holders.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of different things going on, and it basically is limiting it to people that are paying more money per day. So a lot of people have been complaining about this for a while. Well, when you look back at what Bob Chapek had said, well, first of all, here's what their spokesperson said. You go ahead and read it because I feel like I'm doing all the talking.
No, it's okay. Of course, a Disney spokesperson disagreed with the predatory business practices, stating annual pass holders continue to be some of our biggest fans and most loyal guests. We've been upfront with pass holders about the updates we've made, and we offered them the flexibility to opt in or opt out of the program early in the pandemic, including refunds if they desired. This lawsuit mischaracterizes the program and its history, and we will respond further in court.
They said nothing. They said, oh, when the pandemic came, we offered you refunds. That has absolutely nothing to do with what they're complaining about. Nothing. We bent over backwards during the pandemic and gave you refunds and canceled your passes if you wanted them canceled. Yeah, and what's that have to do with the fact that you're keeping park passes in play and then limiting how many annual pass holders can get in? And then we're talking like even if there's space left, it's for daily ticket holders, they'll let it sit empty instead of letting annual pass holders come in.
Yeah.
Which is really stupid because they're trying like, oh, someone might decide last minute they want to go and we might lose that $100.
Yep.
Or $200, whatever the hell it is now. But this goes back to kind of what Bob Chapek said. You remember his family from Denver comments. Mm-hmm. He said, we want to make sure that our super fans who love to come with annual passes and use the parks as their personal playground, we love it. Middle finger to you, Bob. We celebrate that. But at the same time, we've got to make sure there's room in the park for a family from Denver that comes once every 5 years. There was before, Bob. We didn't have a reservation system, and we didn't control the number of annual passes we distributed. And frankly, the annual pass as a value was so great that people were literally coming all the time, and the accessibility of the park was unlimited to them. And that family from Denver would get back to the park and not be let in. Yeah, not before the pandemic. Very, very rarely did the park close down, and it was usually like Christmas.
Yeah, like Christmas time.
You'd let them in. You'd let them in. People would be nuts to butts. You'd let them in. This is a load of shit, but I love this. The annual passes value. They were literally coming all the time, and the accessibility of the park was unlimited. You mean when you pay for the pass that has 365-day availability and no blackout dates, and you pay a lot of money for that? That's a problem? Then why did you offer it, Bob?
Well, Bob didn't.
But I'm saying
predecessors.
He was still. It was like what Josh Tomorrow does now, running the parks, stuff like that. So yes, he was involved in that. So you kept jacking the prices up. It went up to like $1,200 and some because you kept raising the prices on people. And then now you're trying to say that, oh yeah, you paid that money, but it's not fair if you get to use all the access and availability that you paid for, because a family from Denver might want to come once every 5 years.
I predict a day when they will just get rid of annual passes altogether.
Oh, yeah, they're going to, for sure.
And just give you like, okay, you bought 5 tickets, get 1 free or something like that.
They're not even going to do that. No. They'll get rid of annual passes because those entitled people who paid for unlimited think they should get unlimited. They'll get rid of it, and then they'll be like, we're going to get rid of annual passes, and we're going to charge more for day passes.
So it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, but not really.
Yeah.
They're going to watch you eat. Disney's going to watch you eat and count the number of dirty plates on your table.
Pretty much.
Probably a lot more dirty plates these days.
But,
I can't hire people to
probably.
Wash
but they're trying to argue that, it's just fair to the people in Denver that they get to come in the park whenever they want to come and be able to walk right in. That those pesky annual pass holders are just taking up all the time because they paid for unlimited. How dare they? How very dare they?
I don't even know what to say anymore. Like I can't believe that the company has changed this much in the last like 5 or 6 years. Mm-hmm. It's not even. I mean, I just saw an article today. Since this came from a political site that actually it was a left-wing site complaining that Disney isn't left-wing enough, and they're basically just using left-wingers to try to boost their profits. And they're like, wow.
Disney will use whatever side they need to use to boost their profits.
Yeah,
and their image. They don't care. They're going to play it. They care, but they don't care. They just whatever's going to get them the most money is what they care about. But so they have this going on now. While that lawsuit is starting, this one is wrapping up apparently. So basically, they went to the second highest court in the state, and they're going to try to probably go past that again. And what's going on was Disney apparently claimed some royalties from overseas licensing. on their taxes as like, the money that they didn't have to pay. And it turns out they do have to pay.
Uh-oh.
So they tried to argue that on their tax returns between 2008 and 2010, they cited a 2003 law that allowed exclusions for royalty income. However, they did change the law in 2013, so some could argue that was changed after the fact. But they've lost twice. And basically what it's come down to is somebody has to pay the taxes. Yeah. And if if the people that are overseas that have the licensing agreements do not have an office in New York to pay the taxes on it, then it's up to Disney to pay the taxes on it. And they've lost twice, I guess, on this. And they keep trying to move the chain. And they've lost a couple times. Yeah. So this is interesting, though. This is 2008 to 2010. This was back when the whistleblower. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Was saying that this is when a lot of the shenanigans started at Disney. Mm-hmm. So I think they were maybe trying to save some money to save up to buy Marvel and Star Wars and all that, and they had to look like they had more money than they really did. I don't know, but they were doing the royalties, and they were trying to write off. They didn't know it, and they were talking $4 million in additional taxes and surcharges plus $2.3 million in interest. So Disney can lose. They can lose. They can lose in court. Oh, they can lose when the state needs the money or wants the money. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. I'm thinking we're gonna have more people come forward and be like, you know what? I feel like I got ripped off. Well, it doesn't help either that executives and like the CEO and that are making basic comments, which are, yeah, we want you there when the park. We want to keep you there because we know you'll come when no one else is coming. Because you have the annual passes. But we want to make sure that we can control how many of you can come in, even though we took your money for unlimited, so that we can make sure we get a lot more money from the people. Because it's a high demand time right now. And they keep going about supply and demand. We're going to keep raising the prices because of demand. So, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we can dunk on Disney. We can complain about Disney. We have a lot of Disney influencers who have actually turned on Disney in the last couple of years. Welcome to the party. We've been here for a while. You guys all used to take a dump on us. Mm-hmm. Thanks for that. But it won't change unless people stop going. Right. But I mean, the pass holder thing is like, I think they have grounds because you paid for what you had. Here's what they said you got. Here's what you paid for. You renewed it. They did change it somewhat, but it was still listing as unlimited. But now in the fine print, it says something like, well, you agree that if there's not availability, you understand you can't come. But the availability, I don't think is evenly offered. Right. So, I don't know. I think they're going to get rid of them eventually. They might even I'm surprised they're still here, honestly. Yeah, I thought they were going to use the pandemic to be like, yep, you know what? It's not a very good deal. It's not a very good deal for us anymore. And, the annual passes, they were always to make sure that they always had people coming in. Well, they want the people coming in to fill up on low times. Yeah. But unfortunately, pass holders want to be there on weekends and at events and when there's an opening of some kind. Because the passes are expensive and most people who have annual passes have jobs. So. Right. Or they're influencers and they're down there every day. Right. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Yes. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later. Bye.